People, including you, including me, people are always pointing, blaming others, blaming conditions, blaming things, blaming animals, blaming something or other, saying it's the cause of their unhappiness. They've got this headache. They've got this mental doubt. They've got fear, anxiety. They've got this troubled mind. Always saying it's someone's fault. And it's the weather's fault mostly, isn't it? Why aren't we simply happy? Just simply happy, without any definitions. Just simply happy, for no apparent reason. Why are we not unreasonably happy? Can we be unreasonably happy? Can we simply be happy? Without a care in the world. Totally accepting of what's arising right now. Totally embracing whatever's arising right now. No matter what is arising right now, can we not simply be happy? Not get all uptight about it, not wanted to change it, not getting emotionally upset. Are you able to sit happily when you see a picture on the wall slightly skewed? Are you able to sit happily when you see some untidiness? What niggles you? What do you say irritates you? Why do you need a cup of coffee in the morning to wake up? Why do you need to go off somewhere in order to be happy? Why do you need to go on holiday in order to be happy? Then you come back feeling you want another holiday. Where do all these feelings come from? What is it about the human being that cannot be already happy? There are many teachers out there. Jesus wasn't the only teacher. There's many people out there who claim to be enlightened, awake, who are living unreasonably happily. I say to you, the natural state of the body-mind is always already happy, with a capital H. There is nothing wrong with this body-mind as it is. Even if there is something wrong, it's not wrong for it to be wrong, if you understand what I'm saying. Why do we all get screwed up? Why are we victims of our body-minds? Why, oh why, oh why? My teacher, Adidal Samraj, see if I'm behind a picture of him. There he is, Adidal Samraj, who's on the back of this book as well. Taught me to understand myself. And he said, notice, no matter what you're doing, You're always seeking for some kind of happiness. You're always wanting something that you haven't got. Notice your whole life, everything you do is to do with seeking. And what are we seeking? Happiness, okayness. And we go in, we possibly exhaust ourselves. The three activities or the three interests that every human being has is money, food, and sex or relationships. We're always being troubled by one of those three so-called interests of the human being. And in those three realms, it's just full of contradictions. We can never be satisfied, never. Is it 9 billion people on Earth today? Of course, a lot of them are children and babies, but even children, they're troubled. So many children are troubled. Parents put so much, and teachers, they put so much emphasis on the child making decisions. Parents should make the decisions for children. Children haven't got the experience. But most parents, this is another subject, don't really know themselves. No blame, no praise, as they say. Anyway, we're going off the subject. So yes, Adidal said, observe yourself under all conditions and see that you're always seeking. But he also said, what is it that is propelling your seeking? Feel the root cause. What is it? He says, in your solar plexus, in your heart region, and in your head, there's a contraction. There's a tightness. There's a sense of tension. It's that's driving you. If it wasn't there, then you would be already happy, absolutely content. And he called this tension an activity that we are doing and we don't need to do it. He calls it the self-contraction. And it's the self-contraction that is at the root of all of our seeking. And once that's found out, we can then decide to stop doing it. The ego, that's what ego is, the self-contraction. He uses the clenched fist as an analogy compared to the open hand. He says the body-mind is naturally like, it's inherently like an open hand. But for some reason, we're doing this activity which he calls the self-contraction, and it's that self-contraction that is at the root of our seeking for that which we already are. And that is the truth of realizers, the awakened people, people who know that seeking is simply unnecessary. Or seeking for happiness, that is. If I've lost something, that's different. I might have dropped something on the floor, so I'm seeking for it. But it's the adding of the self-contraction to the conditions of life that we are doing and not doing it, that not understanding that we're doing it, we think it's someone else who's at fault. When truly it is each individual. Find this out. Find out what the cause of all our troubles are, and it's this self-contraction. Let's have a little bit of my glasses on. From this autobiography, The Knee of Listening. Here he says, as cause of human suffering. Let's look at that, 564. But he didn't want you to believe. He's never asked us to believe in him. He has asked us to realize this to be true. As you can see, if I pinch my hand, ow, take the pinch away, there's no ow about it at all. We think it's someone else who's pinching us. Human suffering is not due to the absence of any kinds of condition. Human suffering is not eliminated by changing the conditions of life. The problem of human suffering is never the absence of better conditions. Rather, the problem of human suffering, of unhappiness, is always this present activity that I call the self-contraction, which is ego. And that self-contraction creates the illusion that we are separate from one another. And because we're clinging to this activity and we're doing this activity, we seek, we go elsewhere. We're always looking in the realms of money, food, and sex for happiness. And of course, that includes religion, books, knowledge, food, sexual relationships. So egoity is the root cause, which is the self-contraction of our unhappiness. And once we're happy, when we really are happy, really truly already happy, not manufactured happiness, not conditional happiness, when we're there, then we can embrace the conditions of life, which includes money, food, and sex. And we can see clearly, we use our inherent, innate intelligence. Nothing's interfered with. We see clearly. So the problem of human suffering is never the absence of any kind of particular conditionally objectified experience, whether external or internal. The problem of human suffering is always the bondage to the conditionally objectified experience itself, due to the self-contraction. So true spiritual life is communion with the God-man, communion with the awakened person. It's like being in communion with the sun, divine communion. That dissolves, that rids one of this activity of the self-contraction. And then we're simply happy. And in that happiness, we're all embracing. Duh. Thank you for listening. So this book, The Knee of Listening, was his autobiography. Freedom from this is this. When there's no more of this, there's only this. Realize one's true state.